Yay. Hi, everybody. Sorry I'm a little bit late today. Just getting myself ready to be with everybody. And I just want to thank you. Let me put a little comment in the chat here. All right, my friends. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the prayer channel. I'm Reverend Francis Fayden, and this is season 2, episode, I think it's episode 11. We're getting down to the end of season number 2. And let me light my candle, and we'll say a little prayer to get ourselves started here. So lighting my candle, offering that, putting it over here on the altar. And then let's take a few deep breaths together. Just getting ourselves grounded and centered. Oh, breathing in the energy of expansion, breathing out anything that you no longer need. Just coming deeply into the now. Now, whatever it is that you need to hear or experience today is going to be exactly what happens. And so let's begin with our prayer. Mother, Father, God, Great Spirit of the universe, we give thanks for this time together, for the prayer channel. We're asking that each one of us has our inner eyes, ears, and hearts open as wide as possible, that we're able to truly see, hear, feel, and know the divine presence as it's being revealed to us. We know that we're always surrounded and protected in a circle of brilliant white light, and into the circle, we're welcoming all of the highest beings that want to come and support us. We welcome at this time. My prayer is that these words and that this broadcast goes out to bless millions of people all around the world, and that whoever hears these words will receive an instant blessing and will be able to feel the presence of Mother Mary or whatever they believe growing stronger in their lives. And I'm going to read our prayer for the month of December that Mother Mary gave us. Our Lady of the Solstice, I welcome your warmth. I welcome your light. I welcome your love, and I welcome your peace. Walk with me in love, light, peace, and joy. Warm my heart, warm my mind with your unconditional love, and help me to embody that love for myself and everyone I meet. Amen. All right, my friend. Well, welcome once again to the prayer channel. This is where you will hear sacred stories and channeled prayers to help you magnify your miracles. We are here co-creating a world of light, love, peace, and joy through prayer, as Mother Mary has asked us to do. Excuse me. And today I want to share with you the story of Our Lady of Guadalupe, the miraculous story of Our Lady of Guadalupe, and how it's still relevant today, especially for light workers. And before we do that, I want to let you know that next week I'm going to be sharing with you the Christmas story. Yay! We're going to be talking about the Christmas story. And the way that Mother Mary has asked me to talk about the Christmas story is to ask you, who are you in the Christmas story? Who are you? Out of all these beautiful beings that were there at the time, St. Elizabeth, Mother Mary, St. Joseph, the Magi, all of them. We want to find out, who are you? So I'll be talking about that next week. You can tune in for that. But for today, I want to talk about the energy of Our Lady of Guadalupe. So we just had this feast day on the 12th. I'm now, here we are on the 14th. And you might be asking, well, why are you recording this or sending this out afterwards? And it's because it's such a powerful story that I need to share it with you. It's also one of my favorite stories. So I'm going to share a little bit of the background of it. And it actually happens over 4 days. A lot of people don't necessarily know that. We know the final message, the culmination message that Mother Mary gives, but there's a really important message and quite a miraculous message that leads up to it. So in 1531, there was a gentleman named Juan Diego, and he was probably I think they say he was in his 40s or 50s. And Juan Diego was a native to what we now call Mexico. And he had converted to Catholicism, which is what was going on at that time. And it was not necessarily a time of easy conversion. I think the people, the conquistadors, whatever it was, the people that were coming in were really taking the land, and genocide really is what was happening. And there were some people who did convert, but a lot of people were just either enslaved or were just flat out killed and murdered. So it was not a particularly bright time in the world at that time. And as she's likely to do, whenever there's an energy of that kind of darkness, Mother Mary often appears. And usually what she's trying to do is to prevent disasters like that. So we know in our modern time that she appeared in Medjugorje about 10 years before the horrible war there broke out. And the same thing 10 years before the Rwandan genocide happened, and trying to, prevent that from happening. And unfortunately, a lot of people get excited about apparitions, but they don't actually listen to the message and what's being shared. And a lot of times they don't take heed. Or if they do take heed, those aren't the ones that are necessarily needing to hear the apparition. It's usually the people that their hearts are still steeped in anger and hatred. So Mother Mary appears on Tepeyac Hill, which is a very holy site back then. And she appears, and Juan Diego is walking by, and she talks to him, and she asks him to do her a favor. So let me see if I can find this page for you. So the first apparition happens on December 9th. Now we have to remember that Juan Diego, he's a middle-aged man, and she keeps calling him my little son. So Juanito is what she calls him. Juanito, my dearest son, where are you going? Know and understand well, you, my most humble son, that I am the ever Virgin Holy Mary, Mother of the true God, for whom we live, the creator of all things, Lord of heaven and earth. Now, I don't know. This is, I don't know anybody who was there jotting this down. It sounds like this was kind of expanded upon. But she does say that because I am your merciful mother, to you and all the inhabitants who invoke me and confide in me, I listen to their lamentations and remedy all their miseries, afflictions, and sorrows. And to accomplish what my clemency offers, please go to the palace of the bishop in Mexico, and you will say to him that I manifest my great desire that here on this plain, this Tepeyac Hill, that's a very sacred, ancient, sacred place, a temple be built to me, and you are going to accurately relate all you have seen and admired and what you have heard. Be assured that I will be most grateful and will reward you, because I will make you happy and worthy of recompense for the effort that I have entrusted in you. Behold, you've heard my mandate, so go forth. So then what happens is my favorite part of the story is that Juan Diego goes, and he goes to the bishop and barely gets in the door. And of course, the bishop, he said, go to the bishop's palace. Obviously, he's in a big, grand place, and Juan Diego's just of the peasant class. And he goes in, he finally gets to see the bishop, and he tells the bishop that she came, this is what she asked for, I'm passing on the message. And he gets laughed out of the palace, and he actually feels humiliated and ashamed, because they're like, oh, why would she come to you? And you have no proof that it's her, and get out of the palace, basically, is what they say. So he leaves, and he feels awful, because now he's like, oh my God, I just made a fool of myself, and they don't believe me, and all this stuff. So he goes back, and the next time he sees Mother Mary, he says, you picked the wrong guy. Like, I can't do, I tried to take the message, but he's not going to listen to me. Look at me. I'm just a peasant. What do I know? And this is the part that I think is the most miraculous part of this story. Mother Mary's like, I know. I know who you are. I know you. But this is what she says. And I feel like this is what she says to all of us who are light workers. And I just think if all of us who are light workers on the planet actually took ourselves seriously, actually took our vocation seriously, and were really committed to bringing light to the planet, what would happen? Instead of like doing it a little bit once in a while, and then we put all energy into whatever day job we have. Not that it's wrong to have a day job, but imagine if you put as much energy into your true vocation, what makes you joyful, as you do to the thing that you think you have to do, what would happen? So Mother Mary says to him, Juanito, my little son, you must understand that I do have many servants and many messengers to whom I entrust the delivery of my message and to carry my wish. I have lots, she's saying, but it is of precise importance that you yourself solicit and assist through your mediation my wish to the bishop. I earnestly implore you, my littlest son, and I command you to go there tomorrow again and see the bishop. You go in my name and make known my wish in its entirety, that he has to start the building of a temple, which I've asked, and again tell him that I, in person, the Mother of God, has sent you. Right? So this is the message that Mother Mary is sharing with you today, is that you might feel unworthy. You might feel like, who am I to do this work on the planet? Who am I to bring light to the world? Who am I to even speak on behalf of Mother Mary? Who am I to do that? And I will share with you, I myself went through this when I had my visitation with Mother Mary back in 2012. I was like, me? You want, like, I'm not even Catholic. You want me to do this? And she often comes to people who are not necessarily qualified, but for whatever reason, play an important part in the story. And I don't even know, what my important part is in the story. I just trust that she knows. And so I've been acting in this way ever since. So he goes back again. And what happens is same thing. Same thing happens. So now he's really dejected. But in this time period, his uncle is sick and his uncle is dying. And so he's like, I can't go back to Tepeyac Hill. I can't keep my appointment with the lady. I just can't do it. I have to find a priest for my uncle. My uncle's dying. I have to get him last rites. So he actually goes around Tepeyac Hill and he avoids, or thinks he's going to avoid, Mother Mary. And of course, what happens? Mother Mary meets him on the road where he's hiding, trying to avoid Mother Mary, trying to avoid his vocation. Has that happened to you? I know it's happened to me. It's like, I'm just going to go over here and do this thing. And boom, Mother Mary's like, yeah, I'm going to meet you on the road. I'm right here, wherever you are. And so he says, look, they're not going to listen to me. And my uncle is dying. And I need to take care of things. And you just picked the wrong guy. And Mother Mary says that, first of all, your uncle's going to be well. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Right now, he's healed. I want you to come back tomorrow, and I will give you a sign that you can show to the bishop. And so here's her actual message, which I love. Hear me and understand well, my littlest one, that nothing should frighten or grieve you. Let not your heart be disturbed. Do not fear that sickness or any other sickness or any anguish. Am I not here, who am your mother? Are you not under my protection? Am I not your health? Are you not happily within my fold? What else do you need? Don't be grieved or disturbed by anything. Don't worry about the illness of your uncle, who will not die of it. Be assured that right now he is cured. climb right now to the top of the hill where you saw me and I gave you this request. And you will find flowers. Bring them down and come before my presence. The diversity of these roses is proof and the sign that you'll take to the bishop. So he goes up to the hill, and there it is, December, and these beautiful roses are blooming. He gathers the roses. He comes before Mother Mary. Mother Mary arranges the roses. He's carrying them in his tilma, which is just a very rough sackcloth kind of a cape, or I guess it's kind of like a poncho. It says, all right, now take these to the bishop and don't open it until you're right in front of him. And so this is where the story, we all are familiar with this part of the story. Juan Diego goes and he's emboldened now. Now he knows his uncle's going to be well. He has these flowers in December that don't ever grow there. He's like, all right, I'm going to go. He's got a sign. He's got something to give him a little bit more confidence. He goes in to see the bishop. The bishop's like, you again, this one. And he says to him, no, I have proof for you. And he opens his tilma and out drop all of these beautiful, I believe they are Castilian roses, which don't grow in Mexico at that time. And they definitely don't grow in December. And they all fall on the floor. And the bishop's face and his eyes get really, really wide. And Juan Diego is like, yeah, roses. But he doesn't even know why the bishop is so amazed. It's because on that tilma is an image of Our Lady of Guadalupe. Now, I want to remind you that when she comes as Our Lady of Guadalupe, she does not look like a lady from Palestine. She looks like a native Mexican. And Mother Mary often comes to us as however we relate to her. So if we're European, she's going to look European. If we're in Rwanda, she's going to look African. If we're in Japan, she's going to look Japanese, because she is one with us and she's trying to show us this universal energy. So there it is on this beautiful image on the tilma. That's the only piece of art that we know of that's actually created by supernatural means. And then the bishop believed him, and then the beautiful church was built on Tepeyac Hill. Now, I'm sharing this story with you because I think it still relates to us now. The miraculous message that I hear is twofold. One is that even if you don't feel ready, you're ready. Even if you don't feel like you know what you're doing, it doesn't matter. Even if you feel like you need more training, you don't. If you're hearing this message, that means that Mother Mary, through me, is telling you that you're ready. Please do whatever you're already trained in. And if you're not trained in anything, then just start praying for people or do something that you know will bring some light to the planet, because you're being called to do it. We're all being called to do it. And Mother Mary says, yes, I have many messengers, many, many. And I'm calling you. I'm calling you because you have something that nobody else has, and it's unique to you. And it's really important that you understand that and that you act on it. And then, of course, the second part of the message, which is so beautiful, which is don't worry about anything. Don't grieve about anything. Don't worry about any sickness, anything, any worldly events. The thing about Juan Diego is he's just like us. He has this miraculous experience, but he's got to take care of his uncle. You know, how many of us feel that way, like we're juggling so many things in our lives on a practical level that we feel like, oh, I don't even have time to keep my promise to Divine Mother. And so she meets you on the road right where you are and says, I know what's on your mind. I know all your obligations. I know what is grieving you. Follow me anyway. Trust me anyway. And I'll take care of all these things for you. Don't worry about it. I'll take care of these things for you. So that is the miraculous message of Our Lady of Guadalupe. I hope that this is an inspiring message for you. I'd love to hear your thoughts about it. Remember, next week we are going to be talking about the Christmas story from a different perspective. And we're going to help you to discover who you are in that story. So thank you once again, my friend, for tuning into the prayer channel, where we are co-creating a world of light, love, peace, and joy through prayer. God bless you, everybody. Bye-bye.